Paris becomes an open house for the performing arts, photography and paintings. A restored commodities exchange building hosts the contemporary art collection of a businessman. And we take a look at an inclusive play featured at this year's Avignon Festival. All of this coming up in today's show. Let's start with an arts and culture event called the Paris Summer Festival. A number of schools, parks, theatres and swimming pools here in the French capital have opened their doors to artists and creators. Most of the events are free. Monty Francis and Gabrielle Bondel have this report.
Under the iconic glass pyramid of the Louvre is the first performance of the Paris Summer Festival, a contemporary dance recital full of emotion in a program called Happy. Down the usually crowded corridors of the museum, 300 lucky spectators had a date with the lady with the mystic smile.
I didn't expect this at all. We knew we were going into the museum, but we didn't know that we were going to be next to the Mona Lisa.
Across town at Jacques Decour High School, visitors can see Moroccan pop art photography, also the dreamlike experience of Seen from the Stars, as well as an inspired experience of nature by way of virtual reality. Organizers say the goal of the festival is to take visitors on a journey.
Everything has started up again after what was a long hiatus. We feel there's a desire from the public and the artists, and from our team, we're so happy.
We were brought back to life by the artists. Thanks to their work and our passion to share their work with the public, we have the audience we've dreamed of, so we're really happy.
As night falls, Cairo comes to Paris. Choreographer Olivier Dubois, along with 6 dancers, share a genre of dance known as festivals, which he describes as a dance of fire and a cry of revolt from a young generation of Egyptians.
It was once home to Paris's commodities exchange. Now the Bourse de Commerce is housing a businessman's vast contemporary art collection. For 4 decades, François Pinault has amassed over 10,000 works from 400 artists. They're now displayed in a building recently restored by architect Tadao Ando. Our very own Olivia Salazar-Winspear went to take a look for us.
Open to the sky, open to new experimental visions, and finally open to visitors. Paris's former commodities exchange is now a site for artistic exchange as the latest home of François Pinault's contemporary art collection, including paintings, sculptures, videos and more, a collection that spans the 1960s to the present day. This building has 10 individual galleries, a studio for sound pieces and an auditorium. And the opening exhibition, Ouverture in French, gives us a taste of what this venue's all about.
Being open to everything is an attitude, an approach to life. If there was an S at the end of the word, it would mean open to specific things. But since there isn't, this means open, period. It has to be harmonious for the visitor. They should be surprised as they move through the gallery. We designed it so that each room can be seen from left to right or right to left. There's no beginning or end, it's a circle.
Politics and society loom large in the artwork, with previously unseen pieces from David Hammond dealing with race and oppression, photography from pioneering figures like Cindy Sherman and Richard Prince, tackling sex, identity and gender. And in a series of interconnecting galleries, work from the New Guard, including Chinese painter Xinyi Cheng, who captures fleeting moments on the canvas.
I remember that night we had dinner at a restaurant, and then we walked out and she had a cigarette, and when she lighted the cigarette, and she had a lot of lights, pink and reddish light on her face. And I think that moment, the time was kind of frozen and it felt like a very long moment. And I wanted to make my paintings like very short stories. Although they look like portraits, but for me, they are situations.
carving out a public space from a listed historical building was a delicate task, one that was entrusted to Japanese architect Tadao Ando, who had help from a team of French specialists.
This huge cylinder conceived by Tadao Ando and the NEM agency actually follows on from the unique and incredible history of this building, the Commodities Exchange, which is based on a circular design. And so within this historical architecture, which dates back to 1889, this new rotunda has been inserted to great dramatic effect.
After the Palazzo Grassi and the Punta dello Dogana in Venice, François Pinault's French outpost now constitutes the largest private collection of contemporary art in Paris. A showcase then for his personal treasures and perhaps in the future a new pantheon of late 20th century and early 21st century talent.
This summer, France's biggest performing arts festival returned to Avignon after a one-year hiatus due to COVID-19. The event brings together actors, directors, dancers and musicians from across the world for 3 weeks in the southern French city. Our reporters have been exploring the organisers' attempts to make this year's festival more inclusive. Julie Dungeloff and Claire Paquelin met with a group of actors with learning disabilities who took the stage there this summer.
C'est joli. Tu trouves?
C'est quoi?
C'est vu de dessus.
How are maps made and what do they tell us about society? That's the concept behind the play Bouger les lignes, which translates to Move the Lines.
Je pense que d'une manière générale, dans les pièces que je fais, la question de la norme et d'une certaine autorité du monde est assez centrale.
Qu'est-ce que c'est comme carte?
Je trouve qu'il y a ça dans la carte. C'est un objet assez ambivalent, qui est à la fois très beau, qu'on a plaisir à accrocher sur son mur. Mais quand on gratte un petit peu, on se rend compte que c'est un objet un peu complexe, un objet qui est très lié au pouvoir, à l'autorité, à la guerre.
Vous êtes de l'autre côté. Cette ligne sépare nos deux côtés.
The Oiseau-Mouche, or Hummingbird, is a theatre company with a difference. All of its actors have learning disabilities.
La compagnie de l'Oiseau-Mouche m'a énormément beaucoup apporté, notamment sur ma façon de m'exprimer, ma façon de penser, ma façon de travailler.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a?
Le handicap ne m'atteint pas. C'est pas un truc à laquelle je me questionne plus que ça, parce que le handicap, c'est qu'un état, c'est qu'un mot, tu vois, ça veut pas vraiment dire grand-chose, enfin, du moins pour moi.
Je suis très émue, c'est très philosophique. Ils sont fabuleux sur scène. Franchement, je suis bluffée.
Le théâtre raconte le monde, on le voit tous les jours à Avignon, mais souvent il ne le raconte pas vraiment dans sa diversité. Et pour moi, ce regard différent, c'est une façon d'aller plus loin dans la façon de vivre ensemble.
Showcasing talent, questioning how we see the world and reflecting diversity through performing arts. This year, for the first time, almost half of the theatre directors selected are women. France's biggest performing arts festival runs until the 25th of July.
And finally, the Grimaldi Forum in Monaco is organising a Giacometti retrospective. The 20th century Swiss artist was inspired by his own surroundings, everyday objects, his loved ones, Parisian streets, Swiss countrysides and more. The exhibition features his famous bronze sculptures, but also his paintings and prints. That show is on until August 29th, and we'll leave you with a clip of that. Remember our website, we're also on Twitter, Instagram, and there's more news coming up on France 24 after this.